And the reason, Michael Steele, isn't Donald J. Trump. The reason is because the Republican Party is corrupted. The reason is the permission structure. If Donald J. Trump, on November, whatever date it was, had lost and refused to say so, but Mitch McConnell and Kevin McCarthy said, you know, being a sore loser is a stain on America. No matter who wins, they're the winner, and no matter who loses, they're the loser. And it's a tradition of our country to, you know, be part of a peaceful transfer of power. 1/6 would not have happened. 55% of Americans wouldn't stand alone as the only people who think Joe Biden is legitimate as America's president. And Vladimir Putin wouldn't be funneling, well, maybe he would be funneling talking points to Tucker Carlson, but the rot is the Republican Party.
Yeah, I mean that you can frame it that way, and the elements within the party that perpetuate this are very well known, very clearly documented and identified. But as I look at tomorrow and move into it, I'm going to move the lens out a little bit more, because the numbers you put up in the polling says a lot. And I don't think we can just gloss by it, or we can just put it at the feet of the Republican Party, because Lord knows they have fed that particularly ugly beast. But the question then comes back to us. And what does it say? And what does it mean? Do you really give a damn about what happened on January 6th, America? I'm take the pundit hat off, take off all the former titles and current titles and all of that. And just as a citizen, asking a fellow citizen, do you really give a damn? Are you scared enough for this thing we call America and this democracy that you care to respond to what you see happening inside a political party, what you see political leadership doing? I was having a conversation, Nicole, with a friend about all of this, and this poll really reflects something important to the question he asked me. He said, how do you reason people out of a position they didn't reason themselves into? And that's an important question, because there was no rationale, there was no philosophy, there was no theory, there was no great argument that compelled us into January 6th. People didn't have a reason, a reasoned argument for it. It was emotion, it was raw. And it was based on fear and anger and disgust and hate of others. How do we begin to fix that on January 7th, a year later? How do we begin to fix that tomorrow? I mean, this is where we are. And as we get ready to go into another political cycle, my fear, Nicole, is that we revert to the old game. This is just another cycle. This is just another election. And the outcome will be what the outcome is. And, oh, yeah, it's potential to be fixed, and maybe we'll deal with that, maybe we won't. Damn it, we got to care about this. Otherwise, just shut up and just accept what happens and don't complain about it, because you have a chance at the ballot box this November. One party's already told you what they plan to do. You elect us, we're going to get more Trump, baby. You make Kevin McCarthy your speaker, you're going to get more Trump. Mitch McConnell, you're going to get more judges that you're not crazy about. So, your choice.
Well, you answer that for me then. How do you reason people out of a position they didn't reason themselves into? You're good at this, Michael Steele. What's the answer?
Look, I spent time in a monastery. I didn't get that far in the training. It's complex. There's no doubt about it. It's personal. And I think you have to accept people where you find them. And some people aren't going to want to move off of that position, so then you move on to the next person. We're going to have to do this one citizen at a time. We're going to do this one grandma, one grandpa at a time, one cousin, one uncle, one neighbor at a time. We're going to have to commit ourselves to preserving this democracy very much to the idea that, hey, this still matters. And I don't know. I don't have all of the answers. I'm just trying to work my way through it like everybody else. But damn it, I'm ready to fight for it. I'm ready to make the case for it. I'm willing to say, as we've already heard over the last hour or so, that this isn't the right course. This isn't for us. This isn't who we are. I get your fear. I get your concern. And I even understand your anger. But we can't let that consume us to the point where we're willing to go back to Donald Trump. Are you kidding me? There ain't that much anger in the world, baby. Come on now. So there must be something else going on. And we need to get into that, what's something else. And I don't think we're there yet. I don't think we're there yet.
Kim, you want to take a stab at it? What is it?
Well, I think one element of the something else is something that we have seen repeatedly happen in our country. When you look at one thing I was very happy to see today was Attorney General Merrick Garland connect very clearly January 6th to the efforts to stop voting access in places. And remember, January 6th was an attempt to stop not the acceptance of all electoral votes, but those out of where? Pennsylvania, where Black and brown and young folks around Philadelphia voted for Joe Biden. Michigan, where Black and brown and young folks voted for Joe Biden around Detroit. Georgia, where Black and brown and young folks voted around Atlanta. Mm-hmm. It was a very specific effort that we saw, and this goes back to the voting suppression that we've seen of Black folks for generations. And I think that it was very important to draw that comparison. So that's part of what's going on here, and we need to address that head on.
We will give David Jolly the break to think about how he would solve this. Don't go anywhere. Quick break for us. We'll be right back.